Hi guys. Today I want to do a showcase of my mock version and modified version of the 2010 Lego Star Wars Clone Turbo Tank. And it is the Turbo Tank version that I like the most. And because it's a bit bulkier and bigger than the one that came out recently. And I've made quite a lot of modifications on this that I want to show you. And the outside remains mostly the same, just added details and so, but the shape is what it used to be. But we'll start off from the front, with showcasing you the cool interiors and little mods that I made to this vehicle. We've got headlights in front here. We've got the main armament, these dual blaster cannons facing forward. You can aim them up and down, like that. On the sides, we got smaller anti-personnel blasters, I would say. I can aim as well, facing forward, and at most directions, firing at front. And here, I've added a hatch in the front for the tank sheath to be operating from. So you can have a figure seated there and still close the hatch without problems. Alright, let's get into the inside of this main driver's compartment. The old set was rather empty inside and only had 2 seats in the front. So we can fold this down, fold that down. Let's see if we can get some light to get inside. So you see, you got 2 main pilots behind him operating on their little screens and all that. First and second pilot, and then we got the boss of the whole thing sitting there in the front with his sticks to drive. And when you fold up the front hatch, he snugs neatly into his panel in front of him too, so he can be in control of the ship. And yeah, we got a little hatch here. So if you want to modify your clone turbo tank, add lots of hatches. That's what I've done, and I quite like it a lot. Okay, moving backwards to the back. Here on top, I've added a little turret for a clone to sit by and aim and fire at incoming vehicles or more anti-personnel firing down from the tank. What you want to do. And here on top is another hatch I'll put on. That leads down to the troop compartment of the tank. We'll get a much better view later when we open up the side hatches, but you can see there's a ladder going down there. And then there's just 2 studs going out from the side. That was because I want a feature to have. Let's take this standard clone here. Do this one-handedly. It's rather complicated. So you can have someone scouting from the hatch while going in your tank. Okay, like that. Sorry, another set in the way. We'll have that for another video. Alright. Moving back to the compartment for all the clones. Let's see if we can open this without breaking the whole thing. It's rather tricky. Okay, so the sides do open like they did before, but now instead, I'm trying not to drop my phone. Great, we get some light in there. You got a troops compartment for a lot more troops. Instead of just having a small walker and a command center, you can cram a lot of troops into that place. And I made it easier to access the troops as well. So you've got this panel that you can take out, and it's just attached to those slidey studs there, the pieces. And here I've just put down some chairs and a little table. You could leave this fully blank if you want to, and just cram more troops in there. But I want my troops to sit comfortably. Otherwise, the detail in here, you see the ladder that I showed you before? It goes up there for the troop. And just a little panel there for the commander. Okay, let's slide these back guys in. Let's slide these guys back in, I meant to say, sorry. Like that. And I mean, it just locks into place. You can lift it up, but it won't slide out. Okay, let's close it up and move on back. Here in the middle, we used to have a gun rack and not much else. So I want to fill as much as possible of the whole tank with the inner features and playability. So here you have the main mechanic and technician working. We can, just like before, we have these sliding doors for a great entrance to the tank. It looks the same on the other side, so I won't show you that quite yet. But made it possible to lift up the roof and fold it up all the way this time. And you can lift up these pieces. I use this technique to close gaps that would come up otherwise, and just open up the doors for you to get a little bit more of an insight. You can also fold these pieces out. So here we got the main technician working and his little rotating shear with the panels and the engine compartment there, and of course he's got to have his red cup there. And you can of course fit some more troops in here behind him. There's 3 studs wide. And yeah, he's got a rotating shear. Got a clone gunner sitting there. Yeah, let's close it back up. And then you just fold down the roof, and you see these small hatches. They bend down to close down all gaps in the tank. Okay, and now to the back. Okay, so I add a lot more detail on the roof and remove the back turret. You know, I want to have it on top instead. I think it looks neater. And there used to be a straight window here. I had to make a triangle shape, mostly for practicality, and I'll get into that in a second. But I need a gap up here with the pieces, so I had to move it around a little bit. We got small arms blasters here, facing backwards. If you're being chased in your tank, then you will want to fire back upon the enemy. Then there's also a tow cable here with quite a bit of a cable for clones. You can just see fold it out like that. Sorry about that. And close it up. Okay. Yeah, so you see you can tow another vehicle behind you or something like that. Or if you want to have clones that are escaping or something, they can be dragged up behind the vehicle and get up that way. Being real special forces. Alright. So here in the back, I also added another hatch. Here's a clone gunner, like a technician's officer or something, would sit here and man all the turrets firing from these positions. But he could also be the driver of the tank in case of an emergency. If the front compartment got shot out, someone needs to be able to operate the tank driving backwards out of combat. Okay, yeah, so we got a hatch there for him to look out of. That's why I want that little gap there, so you could actually see out. And if you lift this whole hatch up and we fold it down a bit, you can see that there is space for 3 clones here in the back as well, with their little panels. And then here's the sheath, so he's got his sticks to drive the tank and all backwards then. Yeah, so a lot more detail and more space to fit more figures into the whole build. Okay, so that's it for the features and the playability. of the tank, which I thought was important when I modified it. And let's have a look at the details here. A bit of greebling here, more details, and all that. And I removed the Red Republic markings to have a more tactical tank, a fully grey one, like that. I thought it would give a better impression to have less Republic symbols on this. And then you can also use it for the Empire and just put stormtroopers in it, since the Empire used the clone turbo tank after the Clone Wars, and that's why I want to have mine as much unmarked as possible, except for these markings here, so I can just put Imperial troops in it, and it fits neatly in there too. Yeah, so here's the outside, and I have a slide at it, like that. Yeah, so that is my modified mock of the 2010 Clone Turbo Tank. I hope you guys got some inspiration and liked today's video. And if you did, please like or leave a comment. And if you really want to, subscribe. Well, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.